NPCs with the highest grade of FAP addiction, clipping, pop-ins more frequent than me on the can after a hot curry was just a start of my Cyberpunk 2077 experience not long ago. Thought I'd never play it again, yet somehow here I am 100 hours deep on a second playthrough. What in the crud changed? Let me show you why me of all people gave it another shot and whether it's worth your time. With the hype for a 5-year-old Cyberpunk getting increasingly higher, I had to Scooby-Doo this mystery for myself, so I wiped the slate clean. No nostalgia, no expectations, just me, a fresh install, and the hope I'm not going to be disappointed. I didn't just want to see if the game was fixed. I wanted to know if I could actually have fun this time. Before, the story really didn't hook me and the gameplay felt mid. So when I saw all the hype around Phantom Liberty, I wondered if it really lived up to the hype. But first, thank you to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. It's 2025. If you're not using Opera GX, you're probably browsing the web like an old bag of bones. I've been using the Cyberpunk mod for it, and it took my browser to the next level. This isn't just a theme. We're talking about neon glow visuals, futuristic sounds, and a dedicated Cyberpunk hub packed with everything from dev updates to official music, and even an interactive Night City map, which is pretty insane. Simply download the mod, press the GX corner button in the sidebar, and it takes you straight to the hub. Grab the latest Cyberpunk news all in one place, and if you need to plan your next build but don't know where to start, the build planner is waiting for you. With GX mods, you can flip your browser into a full Cyberpunk experience in just one click. Custom sounds, glowing themes, even a live animated wallpaper straight out of Night City with loads of different options for tarts like me. Switching to a new browser is normally a right pain in the arse. Grab all your dodgy bookmarks, history, and even Chrome extensions in seconds with a single click. So stop browsing the web like an old bint and jack in with Opera GX like me. Download it now by clicking the link in the description down below or even in the pinned comment, and you won't regret it. With a very cool intro to the newly explorable area of Dogtown, we are tasked with saving the president after her orbital shuttle crashes. This instantly sparked my interest, as I thought women were just bad at driving. Aside from her pathetic attempts at looking hard whilst drinking a beer, this story is action-packed and hooked me way faster than the main story ever did. With more Silverhand, which I'd never say no to, and new engaging characters played by more famous actors. The Chimera sequence alone felt like I was in a movie, and I feel like a melt saying this, but yes, it actually did feel epic. I also love the fact that side missions feel far more challenging and more engaging, instead of just wiping out a couple of crackheads that feel easier to kill than blowing on a damn ant. This time, bases are more heavily guarded, along with one big munter guarding some valuable loot that you'll definitely want to get your hands on. The new explorable area of Dogtown might be small, but feels dense and alive. And I also love the small details like being scanned when you leave or enter. It's pretty cool. After getting hooked on Phantom Liberty, this led to me taking the game to the next level by introducing some of the best mods available to see how much of a difference they can actually make. Graphical improvements, better player movement, reworked vehicle handling, modded cars, pop-in fixes, increased NPCs, and the list goes on. And to be honest, you could say that these modders are doing a better job than CD Projekt Red. But to their defense, at least they support modders and don't just take them down like these bunch of absolute cock gobblers. At the end, I will show you how you can install these mods for yourself. Mods aside, as I racked up the hours, not just in Phantom Liberty, but also in the main story, completing side missions and doing everything the game has to offer, bugs still exist, but they are less frequent, and I encountered a lot less serial wankers walking down the street, which was nice. But to be honest, bugs wasn't my only concern. The main story and its gameplay were previously something I just couldn't buy into. So what's changed? No one can deny that Cyberpunk offers value for money with its endless side content. I'm pretty damn sure I've seen this God to Hell message in my sleep, with how much it stares me in the face as I try and complete every crime scene and every side mission. I can't be the only one, surely. Although it's amazing having so many missions to do, quality over quantity. These side missions do feel a bit samey after a while, and it still didn't stop me from doing them. But was this down to my chronic OCD OCD to get every mission finished before the ending, or is the gameplay actually fun? Driving is still pretty horrendous. Some cars handle alright, but others like this beast feel pretty ghastly to drive. It's like the steering sensitivity is completely on the piss. A mild waft of air from your mouth breathing onto the stick, and your car is greeted with the nearest ditch. You do get used to the shoddiness, but playing other open world games makes you realise it's lacking. With the vehicle handling mod, this is less of a problem, and certain vehicle sounds like this one still gave me a regular rod on. However, the physics are still dog shit, and this is most noticeable on motorbikes. But this is something I can overlook, as I normally just drive cars in this game, although it might not be the case for you. Gunplay is where things do get interesting though. It always felt kinda lackluster on my previous playthrough. Your weapon selection can really change your experience for the better or worse. I found taking the stealthy approach with my silent pistol, like a modern day Agent 47 without the shiny dome, was pretty satisfying, especially when combined with the quick hacking mechanic. I also feel like bursting into tears of joy that we finally have a game with a fully functional stealth system. Enemies don't hear a single lip smack or arse clench from about 80 miles away, which is a major result and seems to be rare as rockin' horse shit these days. When stealth eventually got boring within the 849 side missions, I would switch things up and twat knobheads with the trusty samurai sword. This was always an enjoyable experience that can make you feel like a bit of a badass. Yeah, it's not winning Samurai Sword Simulation Game of the Year, as it's basically block, parry, and then press X to perform a takedown. Regardless, I do like it, and it gives a fresh air of breath from all the gunfights, and I love gore, to be honest. But then things get even more enjoyable once you start wearing warheads on your forearm. Yeah, I much prefer this over the Mantis blades, which seem to be the star of the show in almost every Cyberpunk montage I've ever seen. Doing this just never seems to get old. The quick hacking is also still something I enjoy, and I did kinda neglect this in my first playthrough. Turning turrets against enemies, making a gobshite meet the end of the barrel, or even just blowing up cars is still pretty fun, and it adds depth. It feels a little bit like Watch Dogs, messing with enemies as a dirty little hacker. Give it time and unlock the more OP quick hacks, and you won't regret it. The gameplay still isn't perfect, but I did enjoy it a lot more this time around. Some of this is down to the mods, and some of this is just down to trying out different weapons to see what's best and ignoring the flaws. However, these abilities in this game still throws me. I've always appreciated the endless customization, but this page still gives me a royal aneurysm every time I look at it. Does anyone else really struggle with what abilities to actually choose? With Phantom Liberty, we even get Relic added to the page, which I wasn't even expecting, and it gives you more reasons to level up and unlock more abilities. But I've always found it really bizarre why a first-person game where you see your character for about 10% of the time has so much character customization. And don't get me wrong, I do love it, but I've always wondered why they went through the effort to allow players to dictate the size of your schlong when most of the time you never even see yourself. And it has better customization than most third-person games. Maybe a third-person mode was going to be a feature but was scrapped. I've heard rumours it will be a thing in the second game, but Christ knows. Maybe it's just me that finds this really bizarre. But with everything being said, should you play Cyberpunk in 2025? Without doubt, it has definitely changed for the better. But to experience it at its best, you need Phantom Liberty, and you also need mods. As the years have rolled by, mods have got far better at correcting the flaws, and they enhance the experience beyond what I thought would be possible, and without them, I really don't think I would have put almost 100 hours into this game, or even done a second playthrough. So that's how impactful they truly were. If you only play on console, still give the Phantom Liberty DLC a go, and if you have a PC and want the best Cyberpunk experience, don't play it vanilla. Watch my super easy to follow modding guide, it'll change your game like it did for me, and if you click the card on screen, you can check that video out right now. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.